Hi everyone, and today I'll be reading a Neuvillette listener by me. So let's get into it. Sudine has known for a long time that you and Neuvillette were very close, although she did not know the extent of your relationship, despite the melusines' closeness with him. They had yet to know about this new person that Neuvillette has gotten close to. They knew that you were very close, perhaps good friends even, and that he valued you greatly, although they were unsure why you came so often. And that's why, one day, Sudine has actually came for you, looking at you desperately. Would you please come and check out what's happening with Monsieur Neuvillette? We don't know what's going on, and he seems very distressed. And I know he's happy when you go see him. So please, miss, I urge you to visit him. He may be in need of some comfort. And that's all you know after that. And you go there, wanting to see what's going on with him. And evidently he is feeling bad because there's rain outside. Heavy, heavy, sad rain. And you could only worry for what has caused him to feel this type of distress. And what put him under such negative emotions. You couldn't truly tell why this happened in the first place, but you knew that no matter what was going on right now, you had something to do about it. And no matter how difficult it may be, you were going to do your best to comfort him, as he deserves. Because right now what he needs most is someone who cares for him, someone who loves him for who he is, and someone who is willing to understand what's going on. And you are grateful for all the melusines who cared enough to tell you about his emotional state. And for the most part, they were very helpful, and they made him very happy as well. They were all like his children to him. He cared for them greatly, and hoped that they could be safe. And not to mention, he always spends his birthdays with them. Although you could only wonder what's going to happen during his next birthday, and if you were going to be there. You hoped that would be the case. And as you went inside and saw him, there was that distressed look on his face. Oh, Neuvillette, what's going on? You ask him, and he immediately looks up at you, frowning a little bit at the concern on your face. I am very sorry, Wyan. I did not mean to concern you, or to plague you with my own emotions. But I promise you, it is nothing of concern, and it will be dealt with. So you have no reason to worry, my darling. Neuvillette, please. I can worry about you. Just because you've lived for a couple of centuries and you're a dragon, it does not mean that gets me to stop worrying. I will worry. I love you. And loving someone means worrying for them and being sad when they're sad too. That's part of humanity as well. He looked at you for a moment and nodded in understanding. He was still trying to understand a lot of things, but being in this relationship, it made things a lot easier and a lot more difficult in their own ways. There were many things he realized that he still has yet to comprehend, and many things that were different while being in a relationship with a human. And so he knew he had a lot to learn, and he was quite okay with that. It is simply some stress from the trials. They have not gone well. I have been feeling terrible over some trials that have happened. A couple of delinquents, but they were quite young in age. But I had no choice but to sentence them. After all, it is the only thing that I can do. I cannot forgive their crimes for their age. So it pains me to do this. Unfortunately, justice is blind. And yet, as the enactor of it, I am not. And as the words fell heavy from his mouth, you hugged him gently kissing his cheek. I know. I know things are difficult, Neuvillette, and you're always doing your best to be fair. But even in the fairness of justice, unfairness seems to be a part of it as well, as the circumstances will never be the same. But I guess I can offer you some comfort. I may not be able to fix this or change their fates, but I can offer you something different between me and you. Maybe that will take your mind off of things. He looked at you for a moment, trying to understand, but eventually he just nodded, holding you close to him. Sure, you can show me what you want to do, although I cannot ensure that I will understand, but I will try. You will do just fine, Neuvillette. Now, allow me to just sit over here. And as you said that, you sat on his desk, right in front of him. It was quite a little bit surprising and shocking, but he did not mind. He was rather neutral about this. And so, as you were perched on top of his desk, he watched you with careful eyes. Before you cupped his face in your hands and began kissing him, he blushed at that, quite startled. But then he held you closer, kissing back, and perhaps that was a very good outlet for his own emotions, because then he lost himself in the moment as well, and deepened the kiss, pulling you from the desk and onto his lap, and the two of you were getting a little bit too excited. More kisses ensuing in this time. And little did you know that maybe the doors of his office were not sturdy enough for all those noises that you were making, especially your noises. Neuvillette may be quieter. And so, when one of the melusines had opened the door in concern at what was going on, she looked quite nervous, trying to figure out what may be going on. But you had immediately pulled away. Neuvillette's face bright with embarrassment and shame and many emotions that he could not even identify himself. The two of you looked like quite an odd pair. Your faces red and quite disheveled. It was quite a rare sight to see Neuvillette like that. And the Melusine coughed, apologizing, as soon the realization had dawned on her. My apologies, Monsieur Neuvillette. I will immediately head out. I will make sure not to disturb you in the future. And I will tell the Melusines to stay away from here, she said in a hurry before leaving. And Neuvillette was not mad, no. This was just too sudden. And he knew he would definitely have to tell them later. Perhaps a lot sooner than he anticipated. And as much as he knew that it was bound to happen, he really would have preferred it was not this way. But what's done is done, and all he can do now is just some damage control.